Oh, so they thought they could keep it a secret. Well, welcome to the speaknsee channel. Please like, subscribe for more information like this.
Thousands of our brothers and sisters have died.
Our top focus remains in Nigeria, where protests against economic hardships have turned deadly. At least 13 people have been killed in the rallies across the West African nation.
Students are being abducted and being picked up from their home.
Now, the number of Kenyans who have died in anti-government protests has risen to 60. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights' latest figures.
And the government is completely committing the crimes against humanity.
And watching this unfold live in front of our eyes is not something that we ever thought we'd have to do.
Thousands of our brothers and sisters have died and thousands are being picked up. Over 9,000 people have been picked up and have been put into jail by the Bangladesh government. So,
I think students and people everywhere, especially amidst the blackout and the shutdown,
they have made our brothers and sisters dead. The police have shot open fire from the helicopter, from the rooftop to our brothers and sisters. They have died, and absolutely, this is not an internal matter anymore. The international media, the international community should come forward to save ourselves, to help ourselves, and to help humanity.
Yep, it's happening all around the world. It's been happening right before your eyes, and you probably didn't even notice what was going on little by little until finally you look around and the whole world is protesting.
We all are coordinators now, and we will continue our fight till this fascist regime, till this autocratic regime is down, till this autocracy is down, and till our demands have met.
Now, July 19th, around the world, the internet goes blue screen. It happened all across the world. And some thought it was just their computers. However, in Bangladesh, their internet stayed that way. And who was behind the scenes shutting down the internet globally, around the world, to shut off all communication to people? Well, in Bangladesh, it's still on hold. And the blue screen came during a protest in the streets where now over 250 protesters, it's up to 260 and still growing, that they're letting us know. So over 250 protesters were being shot down by their own government. How this news is being neglected its rightful airtime, it's beyond anyone's reasoning, but it's purposeful. And it does bring forth the big question of what is this new world order regime really up to? And why is it that when people fight against the system of government, the corrupt government now, they end up unalived? For those of you that have followed us here on the speaknsee channel, you have a pretty good sense of how Kenya government has responded to the citizens protesting. One of the biggest victories in their fight may have been the ability to use the internet as an outreach to the world so that the government wouldn't continue to violently kill protesters. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Comments are open down below. However, in Bangladesh, the government just cuts off the internet and continues to slaughter, kill, and abduct its civilians. I once heard that the only way for evil to win is for good people to do nothing. And to those in Bangladesh Gen Z that can still get internet or somehow managed to see this, there are more for you than against you.
Thousands of our brothers and sisters have died. Students are being abducted and being picked up from their home. And the government is completely committing the crimes against humanity. Thousands of our brothers and sisters have died and thousands are being picked up. Over 9,000 people have been picked up and have been put into jail by the Bangladesh government. So they have made our brothers and sisters dead. The police have shot open fire from the helicopter, from the rooftop to our brothers and sisters. They have died, and absolutely, this is not an internal matter anymore. The international media, the international community should come forward to save ourselves, to help ourselves, and to help humanity. We all are coordinators now, and we will continue our fight till this fascist regime, till this autocratic regime is down, till this autocracy is down, and till our demands have met. Trust.
Right now, we are laying low because I saw at least 5 people getting killed in front of me. The government does not acknowledge these students dying at all.
They didn't tell how many brothers and sisters and civilians were shot dead for no reason.
You see, the machinery of the state is the only thing that's stopping us from taking down this government. So we have to take every action in our own hands, and we have to do whatever it takes to stand our ground. They cannot kill all of us.
Let me chime in on 2 points real quick. First of all, young lady that asked for help around the world to get the message out, here we are. We're getting your message out. We hear you. And second of all, the gentleman who just said the machinery is what's keeping us from fighting the battle. One thing about America that I do really appreciate is the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And the right to bear arms wasn't given to the citizens to protect each other from each other. The right to bear arms was given to the citizens to protect from a corrupt government. In case nobody knew that, I just wanted to make sure that you did, because that's the main reasons the founders of the Declaration of Independence put that in there, for reasons like this, so that the government wouldn't be the only ones with the guns. Because when they're the only ones with the guns, yeah, you got a problem. Anyway, let me know what you think down below, and we'll continue watching.
In Bangladesh, John, if I can start with you, how has it been to watch your home country engulfed in chaos? I mean, I believe you started the Bangladeshi Voice in order to document what's been happening in your country, but also to get the word out.
We have seen how this regime has tried to thwart protests and try to shut down any form of anti-government movements. But to this scale, this is something that was absolutely unimaginable, absolutely something straight out of storybooks, something straight out of movies. And watching this unfold live in front of our eyes is not something that we ever thought we'd have to do. The nightmare is coming out live, and we are just having to witness the horrors, the horrific ways the government is cracking down on the students. Like Prakti was mentioning that there were students being picked up left and right, 16-year-old, 8-year-old students, and children are dying. I mean, the footages I have seen personally, trying to put out news on the Bangladeshi Voice myself, I was so traumatized I could not sleep for 2 or 3 nights in a row, some of the footages I've seen. So definitely this is not something we ever thought we'd see out of Bangladesh. And this is something that we think does not only require international attention, but I think there needs to be much bigger steps to ensure that things like this do not continue anymore.
The internet has been restored, but the internet speed is still very slow. And the government has restricted the social media as well. So if anyone in my country wants to use the social media, they have to go through different routes. The curfews are still on in certain places, and there is a massive crackdowns with widespread abductions. And I also have a couple of friends who were studying in public and private universities in Bangladesh, and like Prapti told that they are being picked up, and the police, especially the police, are checking the phones of the students even when they are conducting the house raids and they're searching for students. They'll search on their phone if they have any different political views, and if they have any different political opinions. And if they find anything, they immediately put them in the jail. And yeah, that is right now, this is the situation. And people are living in fear and absolute uncertainty.
Just one quick question here, okay? I think this one involves every country in the world. What happens when your police officers and your military, who are your family and friends, who work for them on occasion, some people have that, start turning their guns against their family and friends to protect the government when they were paid to protect you? Well, I just don't think all the police officers are corrupt. I don't. I think most 99% of them are good. So when is it, or will it ever happen, where the military sets down their weapons and says, you're right. You're right. The government's corrupt and I'm working for them. I'm not going to shoot you. But instead, they shoot you and get away with it by their own justice system. Two-tiered. Anyway, let me know what you think about that, and we will continue watching.
Pretty much everyone we have been speaking to says the same thing, that students are being picked up randomly just for being outside sometimes. But John, a member of the Bangladesh government, the country's information minister, Mohammad Arafat, actually spoke to Al Jazeera, and he said that third-party actors have been fueling the unrest. What is your response to that? What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, the Home Minister makes a lot of statements. I think a few days ago, he was on Al Jazeera, and he was saying the Prime Minister was protecting the citizens, protecting the students.
Mm-hmm.
It sparked a question, what exactly were they doing to protect people or the students? What we've seen so far is not an example of protecting students. Similarly, what he's also saying about the third parties is not true. The government has been peddling lies for 15 years, and after a while, you naturally become immune to their lies. They keep lying, and they keep lying some more. At this point, everyone knows how the government uses the third-party accusations on BNP and Jamaat to avert the blame on themselves. Hundreds and thousands of people have used the color red instead, and over here, Bangladesh Awami League is blaming BNP and Jamaat for inciting this whole motivation. They have incited this whole thing that use your red colors. On the other hand, we're seeing students, lawyers, teachers from various universities who are standing in solidarity with that. So my question is, if BNP and Jamaat are doing all this, then we are all BNP and Jamaat. All the teachers, all the lawyers, all the people who have died, all the people who want to have this change in this reform of the government would have been labeled BNP and Jamaat. If you have anything to say that's not going with the government's own opinions, then you're labeled as those names. And I think that stands no ground. It makes no sense. And we're tired of their lies.
The government insists that this is all political and is blaming the political opposition. Does Nina...
My father was kind of hesitant, but on the other hand, my mother told me that do whatever you want to do. If they threat us, if they want to kill us, if they put a gun on our head, I will welcome that. But I want you to speak the truth and let the world know what is happening inside the Bangladesh.
As John mentioned, it's been decades worth of authoritarian rule, and which is wary and despairing, but I have to have hope, that there has to, now that there is a lot more international exposure, I think students and people everywhere, especially amidst the blackout and the shutdown, we need to keep talking about this. We need to have this be one of the centers of our conversations around the world. And then I think in that way, we'll also be able to keep this movement alive.
Wow. Okay. So it's happening all around the world. It's happening all around the world. We are looking at this through a lens now where if you go into Africa, you're finding it in drones, corrupt governments. Gen Z is kicking butt over there. Africa revolution is going, it might have even started this, honestly. It might have, African revolution, India might have seen it and said, yo, we're with you guys. We're going to kind of we're going to follow suit. It's happening in Kenya, Nigeria, over in Uganda is thinking about, there's everywhere. In America, you had the J6 riot. In Venezuela, you're having those riots going on and protests. In UK, you're having protests going on. In Netherlands, in Switzerland, in Denmark, in Brazil, throwing the elections. Everywhere in the United States. In Canada, you're having buckle down and stop, from the COVID mess that went on. Just the world has gone crazy right now with protesters saying corrupt governments need to end now. How deep is this? Can you stop it now? Or do they have just too many weapons and too much power to go against the people? And are the people just so far second-class citizens, especially if you don't have weapons, then you're in trouble? I mean, you let me know what you think down below, but India, Bangladesh, we're watching you. We got our eye on you. And to that government over there, those dictators or whatever, even your policemen over there, you better start listening to your Gen Zers. You better start listening to these people. These are the people. They own you. You don't know that own them. So let's get this thing straight. Let's figure this out. We can see if we can work all this up and find out if we can find out where the root cause of this corruption is coming from. Because I got a feeling it's bigger than we know. What say you? Anyway, to all you all out there, Jesus loves you. So do I. God bless you. One love, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.